Hello and welcome to the Disconnected Gamers podcast, where we reconnect with life and gaming. I am one of your hosts, Andrew, also known as J-Bond. With me, as always,
Yeah, it's your boy Mike.
and you might be the first returning guest of the show. I think. I don't think there's ever been anybody that's done a double yet.
I think so.
Gotta let them know.
It's Hugo
Mm.
Foire.
Hugo Foire, also known as CJ.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
It is episode 83. It is Sunday, April 2nd. We're beyond April Fool's bullshit. You know what though? I will say that surprisingly, nobody did any pranks at
Nothing.
work, thankfully, because
Right.
I was like, I will murder you. I was like, trust me, I know which cars every single one of you bitches drives. You're gonna be going out to a flat tire, and there ain't no fooling on that.
Yeah.
So it's like, so that was thankfully that was a good thing, because like a whole day I was like, someone's gonna just totally screw with us. But we lucked out. So yeah, it's Sunday, April 2nd, and we are gonna talk about. Well, I feel like it's mostly you guys, because I've never really played the Mass Effect games.
Never touched a Mass Effect.
Since I was like, I was misinformed, I should say, on Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, the game has its issues, but I think I was pretty generally talking about it, so I figured you two, since you've both played it, can discuss. Here's something I want to bring up though that I think is real, and like this happens with any game that's multi-platform. So on Metacritic, the Xbox version has a 77, the PS4 version has a 73, and the PC version has a 75. But a 4.7 user score, PS4 is 4.6, and Xbox has a 4.5. So Xbox has the best meta score, but the lower of the user scores.
I mean, all of those are within, 0.1 score of each other, though.
I know, but I'm saying I just think it's interesting though that like the meta scores, like I get that they all like all games that are multi-platform have like individual meta scores, but I feel like it should just be an average of them and then be like, yeah, if you buy it on Xbox, you might experience this, and if you buy it on PC, you'll have better graphics.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I mean, if you buy it on Xbox One, you're getting a 360 game, because that's exactly what it looks like.
Why is it
Really?
that bad?
Yeah, it did not look good at all.
Huh.
Yeah, at least I didn't think so.
Interesting. I have not seen it on anything but PC.
Everyone says the PC one looks spectacular.
It's pretty amazing. Like, no doubt about it. It's a beautiful game.
What are you running it for settings? Because you've got a beast of a machine.
I have everything maxed out to ultra, and the render scale is just native. It's not doubled. Like you'd need something crazy to run ultra settings with the doubled resolution scale, but
Jeez.
it's so full ultra settings with 1080p native scaling.
What kind of, do you have a 4K monitor or no?
No.
Oh.
I wish. If I did, I would try running it at 4K. I'd probably only get like 30 frames per second instead of the nice 60.
Right.
But
So like 60.
just to see what it looks like.
Yeah, crispy
Crispy.
60. And you're running PS4, right, Mike?
Correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't get it for Xbox.
No. Hell no.
Ain't about that life.
No. Not about that life at all.
Right.
So I bought the game yesterday, having originally played the free trial on PC because of the Origin Access early access dealio. So I got my 10 hours in. Actually didn't use all of the 10 hours, but was thoroughly disappointed. To the point where I even canceled the pre-order that I had already purchased, and was pretty sure I wasn't gonna buy the game, but went ahead and bit the bullet yesterday, bought it, and played I think the last time I checked my save, which was just about 10 minutes ago, I was at 8 hours played, and I'm pleased to say I'm actually having a good time. I think
Right?
once you get past a lot of the issues that the game has, it does have a lot to offer. I wrote down
Right.
some talking points here that I kind of wanted to go over. I'll start
Just
with
to
the
just to
bad thing.
just to touch when you played that 10-hour trial, did it start you at the beginning of the game, or did it
Yes,
drop?
it
Oh,
started me at the
okay.
beginning of the game. It
Hmm.
had a block on the story missions at a certain point, which I am now past, obviously. Um, but it's still, I mean, everything was open. Like everything that exists in the full game was there. You just couldn't go past a certain point in the main story quests. So you
In the
could do
main
all the
story,
side
yeah.
quests that existed. You could go mining for stuff. You could explore all the planets that were available in that area. So it was like a full trial. It wasn't, like a gated demo, beside the fact that you couldn't continue past the story in that one point.
Hmm.
So, obviously the bad things about the game, everyone knows, the creepy face
Facial animations.
animations.
Oh
I mean,
God.
it's weird because sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're
Yeah.
lifeless, sometimes they have the
Mm.
wrong emotion,
Wrong motion.
and it can really pull you out of a conversation, which is
Mm.
unfortunate because it is noticeable as much as you try to move past it.
Oh
Personally,
yeah.
I notice it. Like it
Oh yeah,
does pull
yeah,
me
yeah.
out of a conversation, and I'll miss something that they're saying because I'm laughing at the facial animation.
At the facial animation, yeah. Or
Mhm.
you just stop paying attention because they're just dead in the face,
Yeah.
and you're just like, well, I
Um,
don't care.
there are also a lot of just other animations in general that are strange. The way your characters walk is just the base animation for it, I find is really strange. There was a video that went around on Twitter and around the internet when the game first released, or during the free trial time. It was a video of Ryder running around with like her legs like going every which way, and it was like captioned with like when you just shit your pants and you can't find the space bathroom or whatever. And I found out after playing the game that that was not a bug in the animation. That literally happens when you hold forward and spam the left and right back and forth. Like if you're on PC, it's easier to do. I don't know if you can do it on console, but if you just hold W and then spam AD,
Mhm.
she just walks like that. Her legs just go everywhere. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, I'll have to try
And like
that
that's
on
just built
console.
into the way the animation works. It's really strange, but in general, the walking animations are weird. Characters walk with their arms out like they're ripped,
Arms out.
and it just
Yeah.
looks weird. They're like
Chris
if you do the
Redfield
slow
style.
walk animation where you hold control and just walk forward, he just like he leans back and forth like he's ripped. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's strange.
Space
There were other
muscles.
other weird things I noticed, like some of the tooltip prompts early in the game were inaccurate as far as what they said you had to do. There was like not a big deal. It still told me the right button, but the details were incorrect. Like it would say like hold V to holster your weapon. You only have to tap
Mhm.
V. Or it would say
Right.
press Q when standing still to display your current objective. You can still press it while moving. It still works. So like
Hmm.
the button still works, but it's weird that the tooltip would be wrong about how it works.
Hmm. I never
Beyond
noticed
the
that.
technical issues, the writing can be really flat in a lot of areas. Like some of the small talk is just I don't know. It's poorly written and sometimes poorly delivered, and can really pull you out of the experience as well. I found
Like voice acting wise, or just the way that it's written entirely.
Just
both
the writing.
both
Oh well, yeah.
honestly. I
Some of
mean
the dialogue,
the
acting is kind of.
some of the voice acting can be a little bad. There's one character in particular on the Nexus, one of the Solarian guys is just like the worst voice actor ever. But yeah, I mean, even some of the characters that you stay with the whole time have some weirdly delivered lines where like later they're fine, like they actually like got better or something, but they just kept in these older lines that were just not good.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it definitely gets better. Um, I haven't played too far into the story. I don't know how flat the writing stays or if it gets a little more well written or a little deeper, but um, the acting is definitely better from some of the other characters that you get to spend time with, which is nice. I do actually really like the squad mates that you get to interact with this time around. Um,
Yeah.
Some people were saying they didn't like them as much as the original squad mates, which is understandable. I mean, you spent, however many years
Right.
with them. But I do actually find myself really liking these characters.
I like
I'm
some,
excited to play with them some more and learn more about their stories. They have like missions you can do, not exactly like loyalty missions from the second game, but like squad mate specific missions that you do to help them out, and you learn stuff about them, which is pretty neat. Overall, the story in general, I haven't played too far, but it definitely is a little less compelling than the original trilogy. But I think it's kind of hard to follow up on something like that. It's
right.
It's kind of a completely different dynamic with this game. It's a lot more lighthearted and more about exploring a new galaxy than this like impending doom of the original trilogy. So it's definitely a mood change that kind of makes it hard to get as much drive, I think, out of the story. But I think the way, if you're a returning Mass Effect fan, the best way to treat Mass Effect Andromeda is like a spin-off of your favorite show, right? It's not going to be as good. It's still going to have, the same feeling, and it's going to have some of the same characters, but it's not going to give you that same warm and fuzzy feeling because it is something different, and you already have these expectations going in. So you kind of need to reel it in and lower your expectations as far as how good you want it to be, and kind of just take it for what it is. I feel like it struggles because it is a Mass Effect game.
Right.
Because
coming off of 3 as well.
It has so much to live up to, and it's just kind of impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a bad game. I've really been loving it. Exploring is awesome. There's kind of minimal hand holding in some of the exploration, which is really nice. Like in the first vault you go into, there was like this liquid on the bottom of it, and my character was like, "What is this stuff?" And the AI kind of like explained its makeup of like what it was genetically or whatever, but didn't say anything about it. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Can I touch it?" So I just jumped in, and it started zapping me, and he's like, "Don't touch the liquid, it hurts." It's like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of cool." And then just driving around in the Nomad is really sweet. That thing's like fully upgradable. You can get paint jobs, you can upgrade the boosts and the jumps and all that. That's pretty sweet.
Is that like the main tool for getting around?
Yes.
Yeah.
The world, each planet you can go to has a pretty large open world, kind of similar to the way they designed Dragon Age Inquisition, kind of open world, lots of things to explore, like side quests everywhere. But done a little better, I think, than Inquisition. I like it.
Definitely improved.
Obviously, the game looks incredible everywhere you go. Like the lighting is amazing. It's just like it's miles ahead of obviously the third game because of the gap in technology there. But it definitely competes with some of the other amazing looking games that are out on the market right now. Like even Horizon Zero Dawn, which was incredible looking. I think Mass Effect competes with that. It's definitely up there.
Agreed.
The combat is definitely improved from the last games. One thing I have noticed that I notice a lot of other people don't like this as well, is that the power mapping, you can only have 3 powers mapped at a time.
3 powers, yeah.
Which was something different before. Like you could, in the previous games, you could have 3 powers hotkeyed at a time, but you could have more. You could pull up a wheel and use any power you wanted to. Whereas this, you only have the 3 at a time. But on the flip side, the game allows you to swap, it calls them profiles, at any time you want. So you're not locked to using only biotic powers or only tech powers based on the class you chose. You can swap at any time and completely change up your kit at any time, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's kind of cool they did that.
The jump jet adds a lot to combat with the whole evasive thing, being able to float in the air. And I think the environments for combat are just generally much more believable. I guess they're a little more realistic. It's not always set up where you're like, oh, this is like an arena room, there's going to be a fight here. It's just like, you just fight somewhere out in the open, and you have to find your own cover.
It's pretty
sweet. And then the last point I wanted to touch on is the Tempest, the ship that you use. Obviously, the Normandy was really iconic, and one of the best things about the original trilogy was just being on the Normandy and talking to all your people. And I think the Tempest really lives up to that. I like that it doesn't have any loading screens. That was definitely a hitch in Normandy. So the whole thing is one area that you can just go through without hitting any loading screens. You can go from the front to the back and talk to anybody and everybody. It's a really cool design. I really like the way the ship looks. There's a lot of windows, which is something the Normandy lacked. So when you go places on the galaxy map, you can exit the galaxy map and then look around at the place you're at through the windows, which is incredible. So yeah, I mean, like I said, only 8 hours in, but I'm really enjoying my time with it now. I'm glad I went ahead and bought it. It's just like I said, you got to kind of reel in your expectations based on the previous trilogy if you had played it and had high hopes. But beyond the technical issues and a little bit of flat writing, it's definitely an enjoyable experience.
It really is. Yeah, it's really not a bad game. Yeah.
All right, so here I'll ask this question to both of you since this will apply to both of you. I only ever briefly played Mass Effect 2 on 360 way back in the day via GameFly, and I thought it sucked. I couldn't get into the game. I only gave it like a few hours before I was finally like, scratch this. So if like you both know me, so you know what kind of games I like. Would you recommend Andromeda if I've never played the other ones, or am I going to be like lost in the story, or does it not matter? Because I've had some people say
lost.
You won't be lost in the story.
No, yeah, you won't be lost. As far as the story, it's a completely different story. You're 600 years in the future in a completely different galaxy. There's only mild references to the original trilogy. It's a new world, new characters, new everything. So you won't be lost. I don't know that it's your kind of game, though. I know really the only RPGs I've seen you really get into is Zelda, which is not exactly RPG. It's more of an adventure
it's
game.
Like Gravity Rush, JRPGs are usually my jam.
Right. I think you would be overwhelmed by it. There's a lot of just like collecting resources and crafting and researching stuff. I think I think you'd find it slow. I don't think you would enjoy it.
Gotcha.
Not the single play experience. I think you would enjoy the multiplayer experience because that's just straightforward.
Oh yeah.
Here's your go fight waves. You'd enjoy that.
Definitely. If they had a like a standalone multiplayer pack, I would definitely recommend that to you because that would be something. Yeah. I haven't actually touched the multiplayer in this, but I have heard it's very similar to the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which was excellent. I loved that. So
it's very, very, very similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you just said.
Yeah.
You might not enjoy the single player experience as much.
Excellent game. I recommend it if you like RPGs in general, but specifically for you, Andrew, I don't think you would enjoy the single player experience.
Fair enough. So moving on, there's two other things that I wanted to talk about, and I don't even know if you guys saw it or really care, but Palmer Luckey, the guy who basically made the Oculus. So he left Facebook. He's no longer because Facebook bought Oculus, and he just left Oculus.
Oh wow!
So I didn't know if you guys think that's. I just was curious if you had any insight on it. I think it's kind of interesting that he's leaving, but I feel like at the same point, like there's probably got to be some wall that you hit when you're working on a thing, and you just kind of be like, okay, I'm out, because like the way Notch eventually, he sold Microsoft, he sold Minecraft to Microsoft, and now he's doing, I'm sure, something else, but like at one point I imagine you just kind of have to walk away with it.
How much money did he make off of it, though? I mean, like, you compare him to Notch. I mean,
a lot. I mean, they bought Oculus. They bought Oculus for $2 billion. So, I mean, I think.
Oh wow.
I think Minecraft sold for around the same.
I mean, Minecraft had already made hundreds of millions by the time he even sold it.
He sold it he sold it for $2.5 billion, and Oculus to Facebook was
Looks like
Does
2
it say
billion.
why he
billion.
left, or it just says he left?
It just
Like,
kind of says that
see.
he left. But do you
So I
remember?
wonder
So
if
do
he
you
was
remember?
just done. Or...
Well, do you remember back in the day there was some concerns about him being on some forums and tweeting pro certain political party member tweet things. No, you guys don't remember.
Okay.
So there was I don't know
I think
enough
I remember
about
something
I
like
don't know
that.
enough about it, but the gist of it is there was someone under a name on some like I can't remember what the hell the website was like called, like America First or something. Oh, Nimble America. So this is from uploadvr.com. And there's like an apology from him that he wrote, and it was this is Palmer Luckey. He wrote this in September last year. I'm deeply sorry that my actions are negatively impacting the perception of Oculus and its partners. The recent news story about me do not accurately represent my views. Here's more background. I contributed $10,000 to Nimble America because I thought the organization had fresh ideas on how to communicate with young voters through the use of several billboards. I am a libertarian who has publicly supported Ron Paul and Gary Johnson in the past, and I plan on voting for Gary in this election as well. I am committed to the principles of fair play and equal treatment. I did not write the, quote, Nimble Rich Man posts, because that was the username, nor did I delete the account. Reports that I am a founder or employee of Nimble America are false. I do not have any plans to donate beyond what I have already given to Nimble America. Still, my actions were my own and do not represent Oculus. I'm sorry for the impact my actions are having on the community. And so the short version below that is some reporters from the Daily Beast published a story that linked Luckey to a far-right political group named Nimble America that used inflammatory online tactics to discourage the 2016 presidential campaign of Hillary Clinton. And then they alleged he donated all this money, and they basically, there was a user on the site whose name was Nimble Richman, and then they basically inferred that that was him through some sort of, you'd have to read like 2 other articles to kind of like piece it all together. It was really weird. But so they were saying that really doesn't have anything to do with it. But in this article, it states that Facebook representatives declined to comment if his departure was voluntary. Basically saying they don't discuss internal personnel matters.
Yeah.
So, but he's like only 25. Like he's 24. And
Jeez,
he founded
him.
Oculus VR, and he designed the Oculus Rift. He's number 22 on Forbes' list of America's richest entrepreneurs under 40.
Jeez. Must be nice.
Right?
He's got to be pretty fucking smart, though.
Yeah. I mean, if it's that certain situation, I could see probably why he would leave, because he doesn't want to cause more heat, or
Well,
giving
yeah,
the
I mean,
heat
is there
towards,
always going to be heat? Is there always going to be heat coming towards him because of that? Back in the
Right,
day,
yeah. Because
there's
that would
always
fall
probably
back
going to
on
be.
anything else he's involved in, and you don't want that. So,
But I mean, my thing is like, you think about that, it's gonna like, it'll follow him wherever he goes, right? Like,
right,
the next time he goes to another company, they're gonna basically be like, oh,
let's heat on that.
right.
Let's heat on that. So they can't just...
They estimated his worth at $700 million in 2015. God damn.
Facebook buying Oculus is a weird move.
In general.
Yeah, I mean, what's Facebook gonna do with that?
This is VR social media. Like, they're already literally now copying Snapchat.
Well, so they got sued by ZeniMax for. Now I gotta find that. They got sued, and this is February 1st, 2017. Facebook lost its Oculus lawsuit and has to pay $500 million. Jury ruled that Oculus founder Palmer Luckey violated a non-disclosure agreement. Gaming company ZeniMax claimed Oculus co-founder violated an NDA in order to build early prototypes of its Oculus Rift. Facebook later acquired it. $500 million in damages. This is from Recode.net. I will post this in the notes if anybody's interested. Investors don't seem to care. Facebook stock is still up. Basically, the heart of this case was whether or not Oculus stole ZeniMax's trade secrets, and the jury found in their favor. Disappointed by a few aspects of the verdict, but blah 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 blah. Yeah, so maybe that has something to do with it because they lost this lawsuit at the beginning of February. We're just hitting April. You just cost your boys $500 million. Do you realize that's $500 million? Like, holy God.
Jeez.
The only other thing I was going to talk about was so MadCatz.
Oh yeah, they
went out of business. I saw that.
They went under.
Yeah, it's like super depressing.
They're trying to sell off.
I'm not even sad about it, honestly. When I first saw the article, I was like, "It's about time."
Good.
It's about time. Like that's I don't understand how they lasted so long. I mean,
so
when their first foray into the world basically was back in the early 2000s. They started making controllers for the PS2.
I have a PS2 MadCatz memory card.
I mean, you can't fuck up a memory card, but particularly the controllers. So MadCatz had a contract with GameStop where GameStop was pretty much forced to sell the MadCatz controllers over the proprietary Sony and Xbox controllers. And they were crap. They would break within a month, and they would come back to the store, and they basically couldn't be refunded because of whatever policies they had set in place. And so they would be forced to sell them another MadCatz controller or replace it, and that one would break again. And somehow through all of that, MadCatz is still around. Like they were partnered with
Rock Band.
Yeah, Rock Band, whatever the company is that made the newest Rock Band.
Well, now it's PDP.
And those controllers are garbage too, man. The drums, I have the newest Rock Band, and the drums and even the guitars, they just randomly disconnect from the console for no reason. The drums will just stop working. They're bad, man. I don't know. I don't understand how MadCatz lasted so long. So when I saw that, I was at the grocery store with my wife, and I was just browsing Twitter while she's getting whatever she's getting, and I'm like, oh look, MadCatz went under. It's like it's about time.
Good, yeah.
Damn, it opened in 1989.
Really? They've been around that long?
Yeah, it says since it opened. Wait, the board of directors.
Wow.
Have they been making gaming peripherals that long?
Apparently. Now, okay, Polygon, are you for real? Now I have to look this up. MadCatz.
Huh.
That seems a little
founded in 1989 in Toronto, Canada. Wow, their stock is worth $0. Oh my God, it's down 88%. Holy fuck. Rip.
Get wrecked.
Boy,
I don't remember much from MadCatz before like the PS2 though. I don't remember any MadCatz PS1 controllers. Definitely not any like 64 controllers.
I had a MadCatz 64 controller. It was translucent. Really? Yep, had rumble in it. Had an auto button, which was complete bullshit because you could just play GoldenEye multiplayer. Yeah, and you just wreck because you just rip through any semi-automatic gun. Like it was just
the first mod
PP7 controller became fully automatic, and you're like, well, rip my life.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
crazy.
I can't. That's so hilarious to look at the stock though. Like, because I imagine you're just gonna see it. Yeah, it literally just plummeted. It was 2 cents apparently a day ago, and now it is 0.
That's excellent.
That's like how do we survive?
Like I said, I don't know how they've been around this long.
Right.
Yeah, as of March 30th, they shut down and sold off.
Like fight sticks or something, maybe?
Yeah, they make fight sticks.
So
They
maybe that's
they
how
follow me on Twitter, which is so weird, and I still don't know why. Like MadCatz has followed me on Twitter for the longest time, and I always bring it up whenever I talk to other accessory people because I'm always like,
GG.
I don't know why. Like, I don't play fighting games, so I don't have a fight stick, so it's not like I would be even remotely in that crowd.
Right.
And I don't really own anything MadCatz aside from like older stuff like the
You
PS2
must have
stuff.
mentioned something, and the PR guy or gal was like, follow.
Yeah, like I'm so absolutely baffled. But another one bites the dust. I mean,
GG.
it'll be interesting too because it will clear up a little bit of room in the accessories landscape.
I was gonna say
right?
somebody's gonna have to fill that void because proprietary controllers obviously are always going to be the standard as far as quality goes for the controllers themselves, but they are always going to be
the most expensive.
They're $60 now, and I only see that price going up as we go later and later into the generations of consoles.
Fucking Joy-Cons are like what, $80?
$79, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, somebody else has to step in and make that cheaper controller. That's a market to capitalize on for sure. But
I imagine it will, like, my money is on PDP only because PDP took away. They took. Well, I mean, I don't say they took away, but like they are now doing the Rock Band co-publishing. And they already make controllers as well. And like I have a PDP controller.
For Sony,
and it's like I like it a lot. It's basically like in between an Elite and a regular controller. But they don't have a PS4 one yet, or at all, unless they made one recently. But like
they have a charger. Never mind, they have a charger.
And like what else? Like who else exists? You've got PDP. You've got. I
don't even think they make controllers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Turtle Beach for headsets. Lucid Sound is a new company that just came out. Like I mean, new-ish. I saw them at PAX. But they only make headsets, and they're really nice. MadCatz, Turtle Beach. You've got Corsair, makes keyboards and headsets. I don't know if they make controllers.
I think they make mice. I don't think they make controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like what? Damn, that's like video game accessory companies.
I feel like I don't think Logitech has ever made any controllers.
PC, like third-party PC, but not like legit.
No, yeah.
Console, yeah. Because I've had a
they had like PC peripheral controllers for controllers on PC games, but
like it looks similar to a PlayStation controller, but
yeah. It's like other than that, what are you gonna get?
Maybe Razer might try to capitalize on that because they've been in that business.
Didn't they make a controller? They make the Wildcat.
I don't know if they made a controller, but I know they mostly do mice and headsets.
Razer gaming
controller. My gaming mouse is Razer.
It looks like it's for just a PC. Oh no, it's for Xbox and PC. It's called the. What is this called? What is it? It doesn't have a name. Or I'm just blind. It's just listed as Razer controllers on their website. What the? Really?
Wildcat.
I see the Serval.
Razer Wildcat.
Oh, is it the Wildcat?
Like an Xbox One.
Yeah. It's got like the green.
Sabertooth. Yeah, the green handles. Okay, so I mean, they have done it. Maybe they'll continue to do more.
Of course, it looks like it's more expensive on Amazon than a regular PS4 controller.
I was gonna say the Wildcat.
So
GameStop was $130.
Jeez.
Yeah, I just see I see all the Sony ones. And then Hori, Hori, they make fight sticks and stuff too.
They make fight sticks, yeah.
But they do have they have a $47 PS4 controller.
Fight pads.
Oh, hey, it's got a turbo button.
Genesis style fight pads.
It's interesting.
Bringing back the turbo button.
Right? Yeah, and then I see some random completely no-name branded controllers. So I feel like, yeah, I mean,
Rated
I don't really see a whole lot of
fucking jank ass controllers.
Yeah, well, it's like that meme that's like, oh, you want to play video games? Here, use this controller. I use the regular one.
Yeah, you get the
The fucking buttons are
Brony
all in the wrong place.
PlayStation controller.
Yeah, the guest always gets to use the no-name brand.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
that no one's ever heard of. Imported from Mexico.
12 buttons and 14 sticks. Like that weird fucking terribly photoshopped PlayStation controller with like a million buttons on it. You get
Right.
this one, man.
Yeah, I like even fucking GameStop doesn't have anything besides like the Sony ones.
Nope.
I feel like what else are you gonna do? You're gonna have to buy a scuff, I guess, which is more expensive. Yeah, like
Scuffs are
basically
more
now,
expensive.
now
yeah.
you like
you're
now
gonna buy
the
the
like
proprietary brand.
yeah, like now that whole like that low end of controllers and accessories is just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you either have to buy,
Which is interesting. I mean, I personally always go for the proprietary brand because I'd rather have.
I'd rather just
quality of
have the
that.
regular one.
Yeah,
But there's definitely a market of the casual gamer that wants those cheaper controllers. People with kids don't want to buy a full $60 controller that their kid's just gonna chew on and break the next day.
Right.
Right.
Hell, I was at Target once when I had got the Xbox One, and I was picking up Halo, and I needed a controller, and like Target had like two options, and one was like the generic Xbox One controller, and then they had some like third party one that was wired, which I don't really care.
Right.
But it was like $10 less, and I was like, it's not worth it for the $10 to buy this thing and have it be a complete piece of crap. Like it's got to be less.
Right. Better off just buying the fucking Xbox controller.
Yeah. I can't believe how much scuffs are though. It's like $170. Jesus.
Miss me with that.
Oh wait, let's see. We've got the Scuff Infinity $157.90. The Scuff Infinity $149.95.
Well, you gotta think they're paying out of pocket just to get the proprietary controllers and then using their materials to.
Oh, this one's only $124.
Yeah.
125 isn't bad because that's only twice the price.
Those are the custom ones, right?
Yeah, they're just like the ones you can just like buy on their website. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they go one that's like Spider-Man.
But they literally buy,
Yeah, they have to buy a controller to do it.
And then modify it. So, I mean, you have to pay, obviously you have to pay more than the proprietary brand to cover the cost of that, plus, labor and shipping.
Right.
That's dope. I like this one.
That's one of those things that if you have the money to spend on it, then totally go for it. But if you don't, then just go for a normal proprietary or whatever third party you can find.
It's interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see. I imagine PDP will have to like step up their
game,
and just start releasing like tons of stuff because like GameStop is going to want some sort of agreement with a company to be like, we want to exclusively sell your stuff, and then boom.
Have their own branded GameStop controllers, or were those just MadCatz with GameStop logos on them?
Probably that.
GameStop is slowly turning into Hot Topic. Let's be honest.
Got fucking 18 types of
The shift in the way that game sales are going is forcing GameStop to sell more knickknacks than games. Yeah. And when they finally run out of ways to sell used games, they're just going to be Hot Topic.
Yep.
Like, I'll be honest, the most shopping I do at GameStop, pop figures.
I'm just picking a Persona 5, that's it.
I don't even know if I'm gonna buy Persona physically. I think I'm just gonna buy it digital.
Oh, okay. Speaking of GameStop, I actually did go in and do something gaming related, which can move us on to the next topic here. Is I went and pre-ordered Destiny 2.
Ooh, did you get your Cade doll?
Ask about that.
I did. I got the Cade figurine. I pre-ordered the PlayStation 4 limited edition so that I could get that sweet steelbook.
Sweet steelbook.
Because Cody wants to be able to play the game, so I'm gonna end up getting it on PC and PS4, so Cody can play on PS4. So I went ahead and pre-ordered the limited edition because I wanted the steelbook case, and I pre-ordered a regular PC copy, which I'm gonna end up unpre-ordering because I'm gonna get it digitally, but I just wanted to get the beta code. So I have two beta codes for whenever that rolls around. No, because one's for my wife.
Damn it!
Oh,
That's why I got two. That's why I got
they
two.
didn't do the whole pre-order, get 3 codes for your friends like they did with the first one.
No,
I mean, they
all you
might,
gotta do is
but
just go into GameStop and pre-order. They'll give you a code,
Yeah,
and then you just cancel the pre-order the next day.
Yeah, everyone did that on Amazon, but then Amazon was like, "Nah, we know what you motherfuckers are doing now, so you can't do that anymore."
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But I redeemed one of them to see what would happen, and it said that I couldn't do anything with it yet. So it said check back later on your redeemed codes to activate this. So I assume once they actually announce when the beta is going to be, then we can actually get codes to.
Someone
They signed up for that.
GameStop released a thing on Reddit. It was like, "Oh, beta during the summer" or something like that.
That's
I'll
the
have to go
assumption,
find-
right? Because they confirmed that the release date for the game is September. So going by the 2014 timeline when they did the alpha and beta back then, the beta was I think it was in June, right?
June.
It was in June, and they released the game September 14th. So
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Allegedly, the release date is September 8th.
Yes. Confirmedly, actually, the game
Okay.
is confirmed.
So then that thing that someone posted was legit then.
Yes, the original leak was legit. If you look up the Destiny the game Twitter, when they posted the reveal trailer, actually, even if you just go to the Twitter, it's their pinned tweet right now. It says new legends will rise on September 8th. Watch the Destiny 2 reveal trailer.
Nice. Which I love the Cade speech.
Mm-hmm.
Gary,
You guys are all gonna
something with
die.
a G.
Yeah. There's gonna be loot involved.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone freaks
Yeah.
out about loot.
It was great. That was definitely a good reveal trailer. Some people were disappointed, saying they wanted more, but I'm pretty pleased with what we got there. I thought it was pretty funny, and I liked just the short explanation as to
what's going on,
why we lost all our stuff, and yeah, the quick intro to what's going on.
They actually integrated it into the story, which I kind of like.
I'm probably going to avoid most of the reveal streams because Bungie's history with those is to just show us everything before we even get our hands on it. So I'm going to wait probably just for the beta and just wait till I can get my hands on the beta and experience
Find out.
Did they say when we're going to get the beta?
They didn't. No, we just know that there's going to be a beta, which if like I said, if we go by the timeline of the original Destiny, they did do the beta. They did the alpha in I think May, and the actual full beta in June. So I don't think they're going to do another alpha. I haven't heard anything about an alpha. They had kind of announced that like immediately when they first announced the game. I mean, maybe they will. They are still doing the PS4, the Sony partnership, where there's going to be exclusives on the PS4 version.
Right.
So maybe they'll do another alpha. But if anything, I mean, the alpha is it's the same as the beta. That's what it was before. It wasn't even an alpha. It was just it was an early beta.
Hey, when you go to GameStop and you pre-order it to get the doll, can you pre-order a digital version?
Or do you have to get, actually, I believe you can.
Because like I don't even know that I want to bother with it.
You just get a receipt on the code.
I mean, and regardless whether you do it digital or not through their pre-order, you can cancel the pre-order anytime you want, get your money back, and you'll still have the beta code. It won't cancel the code, and you'll still have the figurine because you already brought it home and put it on your shelf.
Interesting. Because I feel like what's going to happen is I'm going to do what I did last time, which is buy the physical copy, and then it's not going to arrive in time, so I'm going to fucking just digitally buy it and then have to give away. That's what I did. I ended up buying a physical copy. Yeah. It didn't arrive in time, and then I used it as a giveaway.
Yep. Remember that?
Which was like a waste too, like in retrospect, because like I fired the game up on the Vita, busted through that character creation because I was like, I could probably just change it later, and I literally ended up making.
That's another speculation point that I'm curious about. So obviously they've said none of our stuff is carrying over, but the looks of our Guardian is going to. However, what if I don't want that? Like, are you really going to stick me with the Guardian I've had from your 3-year-old game? Like, what if I want to try out the new? I would hope that they would allow us to edit our current Guardian.
I hope, yeah.
Because if not, I'm just going to make a new one. Like, what does it matter if I change who my Guardian is?
Right, yeah. Especially if they have new...
If it's all new stuff, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's just a matter of
Well,
if
I mean,
you want to or
your
not.
character they have looks or whatever that you can do beyond what they already have, then yeah, I'm just gonna make a new character. Screw the old one.
Right. Well, considering it's not like you're going to have access to your old stuff
So,
anyways, unless there's some play that eventually you'll get to like, because that's the thing, right? They took your stuff and my stuff, but most importantly, my stuff. Like,
Well,
does
they
that mean you're going to
destroyed it.
get
I
it?
mean, I don't
Oh,
think
you
so.
think it's just
There's a
gone,
scene in the
gone?
trailer of the vault exploding.
Oh, well then,
Mhm.
rip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Never mind. I wonder if you'll get to keep like one gun with you.
No, I don't think
I don't
so.
think so. I mean, maybe they'll bring back like a couple exotics here and there.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
they'll be
no,
like,
I
"Oh, we
meant.
found the blueprints to this," but like, no. I mean, you're gonna probably start out the same way you started out original Destiny, where you just pick up
Pick up a
something off the
gun.
ground.
Pick up the stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then you'll get an exotic in the fucking 4th expansion of the gun you picked
You
up.
have the original gun; it'll be exotic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? They'll just start you with an exotic. Be like, we cut
You
out the
start with
middleman.
exotic of the whatever, Kostova, whatever, Costa, whatever.
I don't know. It is interesting though because you can see in the trailer, Cade is still using Ace of Spades, which obviously he just had on him, and Zavala and Ikora are just using generic Vanguard weapons,
Generic
which
Vanguard
don't
weapons.
look much different from what was previously there. There are a few guns that are definitely different. If you watch the trailer, pause at a couple scenes. There's a guy with a Suros shotgun, which there was never a Suros shotgun originally. There's a look at one of the hunter in the red with like the little girl or whatever. As he stands up, you can see he's holding like an Amalon auto rifle, which is
Right.
also not something that existed. So there's definitely some looks at some new guns, but it does look like, obviously Cade and the rest of the Vanguard are using old weapons.
Returning, yeah.
There may be a few just like generic, rare and common weapons that might make a comeback just because,
Right.
they could just be lying around.
Because they said they changed the system anyways, right?
I don't know.
At least I thought they said they changed how the system's going to work, so that's why our
I
old
hope they
weapons
change
won't
everything,
work.
honestly. We should just
Yeah.
move on. Just like completely change up everything.
Fucking get rid of light level for one. They just give us fucking gear that is whatever leveled,
Yeah.
rather than having the light level.
Yeah, light
That way, no one
levels.
feels left behind. If you stop playing after a while, you just jump back in and, boom, found a piece of gear that's this much.
Exactly.
Yeah, I imagine there will have to be some old guns that resurface only because, like, yeah, what was in your vault was destroyed, but in theory,
Destroy.
like,
you could still
stuff still
be able to
exists, Like, the Cryptarch can still
That's true.
decrypt things, and that means he'll probably still be able to decrypt old shitty guns again. Yay!
Yeah, I don't expect to see any of the legendary or exotics from year one, but potentially some greens and blues, just to get you through the first, couple missions until you find the cool stuff.
Yeah, like, are we gonna get a new type? Are we gonna get a new type of sparrow or something?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Fucking get a SUV vehicle now instead of a fucking Sparrow.
Maybe we'll actually get space battles, which we were promised.
Oh, that'd be so sweet.
If we only get
Maybe we'll see.
one fucking multiplayer demo level, and it's the goddamn moon again.
Canceled. Fucking
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Boycott this game.
Yeah. Can you just not hey, if you're listening, can you not do that? No fucking flying vehicles that everyone grabs first.
No vehicles or whatever.
Oh man.
We're gonna give you a redesigned map of the moon, but this time there's no vehicles because
It's
you
the
all
same map.
It's the moon but destroyed. It's literally just destroyed.
Yeah.
Everything's just on
With
fire.
One vehicle, right?
It's just
right
like
in the center.
the definitive edition of the
flag,
first light.
The A, B, and C are just changed. They're in different positions.
Yeah. This is the same fucking map, Bungie, motherfuckers.
They could do something like that just to be like, yeah, well, this is what you get for leaking the goddamn game.
Yeah.
US
I mean, the skepticism there is that some people were saying it was a planned leak, like Bungie did it on purpose.
Intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, because you saw a lot of the heavy hitters in the Destiny community posting all sorts of theories about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. I mean, that's always a weird thing too, like when you think about like the idea of like they're planning to leak it to let this happen. And then like what happens if it does? Like my thing is like the risk is like what happens if nobody believes it?
Yeah, like
Like
fuck you,
then
it's
what do
fake.
you do? Do you then just like shift and just do an actual release like shortly after to kind of like validate what you did, or do you just be
Mhm.
like, "All right, never mind, don't release it yet." Like nobody's interested. Like there
Right,
wasn't enough people like going nuts on the forums or something.
I
right.
don't know.
Is Bungie's partnered with Activision, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So I wonder if Activision was like, yeah, fucking, let's leak it, and then we'll confirm it later.
I'd heard that someone
Because I
like
remember there
people
was
at
something about
Activision were
if you guys don't
bullshit.
release it, we're just gonna take all the money away that you guys wanted or some shit like that. I thought you had told me an article about that, Andrew, or some shit like
I
that.
had read somewhere that someone said
They were,
from
we're gonna take the money
from an
away if you
insider
don't.
source they were very disappointed with and like actively seeking like some sort of I don't know if it was like I don't they didn't actually specify like damages or like repudiation or
Mm.
whatever, but like they were investigating the leaks from wherever they came from in Europe or whatever because they were like wanted somebody's ass, you know.
Right.
It's the risk you got to take. I mean, and I've never understood that. And I've talked to other people that have also like worked at GameStop, and they're like, it's just not worth the like, it's not worth it. The like 15 minutes of
What
internet fame you
internal
get for
leaks?
like leaking something that you know about in advance is totally not worth your job. Like,
Oh no, especially if it's something Nintendo related.
yeah, fucking Nintendo.
Nintendo,
Fuck you,
Nintendo doesn't
Nintendo.
play with that shit.
Nintendo needs to get with the times.
Nintendo. I like how Nintendo. I don't even know who the hell it was. Some YouTuber. They blocked his videos that they like paid him to put on YouTube. And he was
Oh
like,
my god.
what the fuck is the point? You paid me to
Yep,
make a video and then you blocked the video, like you
block me.
copyright claimed
Yeah,
my video.
like
Like,
you
like so
motherfuckers.
you paid me and you're just gonna
April
take the money
Fools.
back from the from the views I'm gonna get on YouTube anyways.
April Fools,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
There's also things
Ugh.
like Nintendo is copyright claiming things that should be protected under fair use,
Right.
such as like reviews and stuff like that. Using
Yep.
footage in their review have
Right.
been copyright claimed. Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, like I love Angry Joe show because he always he'll do his video and then he'll do like a fair use of like a fair use video like talking about like this is fair use. Like look, I didn't even have it at 100%. The footage is here in the background of me talking about your game. That's fair use. I have the right to reference the material that I'm talking about.
What's really funny though is actually specifically Angry Joe is I don't know if you watched his Breath of the Wild review. But he had some issues where the first few he put up did get copyright claimed. So he finally re-uploaded it. And anytime the footage was the full screen, it was inverted horizontally. So it was like mirrored backwards. So
Mirrored
like to try
backwards.
to avoid any copyright claims on that. Of course, anytime he has full screen content of the game, he's usually got like a webcam on screen because it's just captured from his stream.
Right.
Which is weird too, because like it's never just the game itself. You know, obviously it's in the background when he's doing his talking points, and then when he's showing the gameplay footage, it's him from the stream with his webcam up. And I don't know, it's strange. I don't know how Nintendo has this set up, if they've got like automatic like pings to just like automatically take down certain things, or if they've actually got somebody monitoring this, like copyright claiming anything Nintendo, and it's like, nope, nope,
I
Right.
nope,
imagine
nope.
I imagine they have like two systems in place. One much like the music algorithm is listening for the actual music and like when it
Mhm.
hears a sample of the same thing it just flags it. So I
Hmm.
imagine they must have something where it's flagging certain imagery. I also am willing to bet they have a thing that's searching for video titles. So anything that's got like Breath of the Wild,
Oh,
Zelda, you know,
automatically
automatically
copyrighted.
like puts it on a list maybe for somebody to be like, is this a Zelda thing? Like, do we need to investigate it? But I imagine
Right.
much like because like I've had a few of my YouTube videos that before I even actually published them live were flagged. and said like, "Hey, this has copywritten content. You can't
Exactly. No,
monetize
that's
this."
exactly what happened to Angry Joe's Zelda one. He never posted it before the time that he had it, like flipped
Yeah.
because he couldn't get past the copyright flags.
Yep. Yeah, it's really frustrating because like I had done a review for somebody, and like I was like, yeah, I'll gladly throw a video or two on YouTube. And they were like, cool, like feel free to do whatever. And like I threw it up there, and whoever made the music in the game has a copyright strike on it. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't even monetize this video that you've like given me permission to do so because the person who made it sucks. Ollie Ollie is a good example. I did like a couple like stupid like 30-second videos of me just like failing at life because I didn't understand how to play that game. And the music that's in the background struck it, so I can't monetize it. And I was like, it's a 30-second video, guys. How much money do you think I was going to make?
I just pulled up Angry Joe's review of Legend of Zelda, and the first thing written in his description is, sorry for all the delays. Thanks for all your support, guys. This is the 7th version I've tried so far. Someone needs to teach Nintendo Japan about fair use. I'm sure this will get claimed eventually, but we'll fight it as much as we can.
Well, that's no different than like Atlas USA versus Atlas Japan. It's the same thing. Atlas USA has told people like, hey, you can do these videos, no big deal. And then Atlas Japan will strike them and be like, absolutely not. And like there's there's a disconnect within their own companies. Like where the US side is like, yeah, you can do like a Persona video, or yeah, you can do a whatever. And then like Atlas Japan strikes it, and then they go to Atlas USA and like they were like, what's the deal?
On Persona 5.
Yeah. But the issue with Nintendo is like beyond even the fair use stuff, just even like the Let's Plays of stuff that could be copyright taken down, is that's free publicity for your stuff.
And yet you
you don't want that up there.
You don't want that.
Like,
or you want 40% of it.
Right? Yeah, they just want money off of it.
It's ridiculous.
We're not making money. Fuck it. No one.
And then nobody, and even I think PewDiePie said way back in the day, like he was questioning whether or not he was going to continue making content with Nintendo stuff because he was like, this is so dumb. It's like, and nobody likes PewDiePie, so it's weird. I thought it was interesting that he like even because it's no different than, and I said this. I've talked about this in conversation. I don't know if I ever talked about it on the podcast. Comedians like Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and like a few other have said like they don't want to go to college campuses because like they can't do their job, right? Because like they make a joke, which is what they're doing because they're comedians. That's what they do. And then people freak out about it, and they're like, "But I'm here to tell a joke, and yeah, sometimes I'm gonna cross the line because I'm a comedian. That's what we do."
Triggered.
And fucking the game companies are like, yeah, we want you to be like making sure people buy our games, but whoa, you can't actually do that.
You can't actually show them what's in the game.
Yeah, you can talk about it, but don't show anything. Jeez.
Yeah, like, oh, and you're making money on it? Well, that's great. We would like most of it.
Yeah, great.
Like it's one of the reasons I don't think I would ever bother doing Nintendo stuff. Like, yeah, I would stream it if I had a Switch, but like, I don't think I would bother playing like making YouTube videos for Nintendo, knowing that they're gonna either copyright strike it and knock it down. And I remember Angry Joe was getting frustrated in one of his videos about it because he's like, I can't. He's like, my living is from YouTube videos. So if you strike my video and it takes me like even a day to get it cleared up and put back up, he's like, I've already missed the window of opportunity for people to watch it.
Exactly.
And now I can't like. Yeah. It's like I can't imagine being like a person who's a full-time YouTuber, like Boogie, for example, right? And having like your videos get struck down because it's like, well, how the fuck else am I supposed to make a living? Like this is what I do.
There was a video on that subject. I can't remember who it was from, but like early on when YouTube, I think it was when they first got bought out by Google, right? And all the monetizing and copyright flags started coming down real hard. They talked about, you can put up your video, like you can still publish it, and it gets copyright flagged, and then by the time you dispute it and get it okayed to be monetized, you've missed 90% of your views. 90% of the views that video is ever gonna get already happened in the time where it was not getting monetized. So you just basically ate all of that.
All
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And like,
Yep.
and even that too, like it's not like you're making I think a lot of people overestimate how much money people make per YouTube video. But it's like if that was like $20, and then like 10 of your videos get flagged, like you now potentially lost $200, which is like a week's worth of work.
Mhm.
Like all that time and effort you put into like recording the content, editing the videos, putting everything synced up, and like uploading it, and like you have to pay for your internet, you have to like eat and do all this, like it's YouTube is like definitely a long game. Like you have to work really hard, you have to make tons of videos, because not everybody is going to get 1 million views per video, and everyone gets like, it's like fractions of a penny per view. It's so ridiculous. I don't know why Nintendo thinks that that's a good idea as like a long-term strategy to constantly basically make people never want to make your content.
Yeah.
But for another day.
Mhm.
So we are rapidly approaching the 1 hour mark. So if you guys have any final thoughts, things to say.
Nope. Mass Effect Andromeda is good despite issues. Destiny 2 is on the horizon. Not much is known. I am skeptically optimistic about it.
Mm-hmm. And GG MadCatz.
And goodbye MadCatz.
Yeah. That's never mind.
Nah.
Put some flags. Put some flags waving in the background with the MadCatz logo. As it gets lowered into the ground.
21 gun salute.
Instead
Instead of shooting guns, we're just chucking controllers into the air.
The 21 MadCatz controller salute.
Chucking.
Yeah, so
play pigeons and replace the pigeons with MadCatz controllers.
Exactly. I should bring one to the range. Send it down, just and then get in trouble because you're not supposed to do that. So yeah, that's it. I lost my train of thought. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at So After I Said. Mike, you are at mtong1, but don't follow him though.
Don't follow me though.
CJ at
The Hug of War.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I was like, did he change it to Hugo Foire or
no?
And then obviously the podcast Twitter is at the DGCast. Feel free to tweet us any questions, comments, concerns. If you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up, thumbs down as you so desire. And be sure to leave us a 1-star review on iTunes. And I believe that will do it for episode 83 of the Disconnected Gamers podcast. And we will catch you
with the